Okay guys, so I just wanted to share a project that I worked on at my library. So I did originally have 4 of these. 2 of them I gave to my friend who I've been binge watched Sandman with, who I got hooked on Dead Boy Detectives. That friend, I gave her the other projects that I made. So I made 4 of these. These are repurposed CD coasters. They're supposed to be like a vintage Paris cafe stain coasters. Like I said, I work at a library and we were really slow on the day that we had this program, and no one really showed up to the program. So, and I didn't really have much to do. So my boss was like, hey, why don't you go and do it? And because we want to do it too, but we can't leave the checkout desk. So can you just like go do it, and then we'll see how cool yours turns out. And the other 2 CDs that I had, they were more reddish because I gave them more of a wine and dine theme, and these ones have the words chocolate and pastry in them. So this one I kept more brown to sort of be like more of a hot chocolate coffee vibe. But yeah, and then you use cardstock for the design of the, I don't know what you call it, the template. And the librarian that set up this program actually found this craft on Pinterest. There's a bunch of different ones, but yeah. And then, you know, the sticky little things that you can get from a lot of craft stores. And yeah, and then we use Mod Podge to first adhere the cut out cardstock circle onto the CD, and obviously like rainbow side up. You see how much Mod Podge that I put on it. Shush. That was my timer, so I would know when to start going to bed, so I don't disturb my housemate, my grandma, whose room is literally like my floor is her ceiling. So and I'm in the squeakiest part of my floor right now. So I just had that going so I would know how close it is to 11 o'clock at night. Anyways, these were really cool and really fun to make. I got to learn about the history of coasters during this program, which was really cool. And then my coworker, the librarian who set up this program, actually tested how well that the coasters work yesterday, and she told me that they actually work really well, especially if you have like cups that have ice and like it sweats. So she says it actually works really, really well, which is really cool, and they're really cute. And if you have CDs that can no longer play, or you have left over from 2010, the stack of CDs that you used to like burn music on from that you downloaded from LimeWire or whatever you used, like if you have leftover blanks from that, you can just make coasters. And like, so we used acrylic paint and watered it down, and we used multiple different cups. So the darker brown is not from like putting the same brown over and over again. It's actually having a cup of like a darker brown that's less diluted compared to one that was just like. So this brown, I poured only a little bit of it into another cup, and then I diluted it more with water, and that's how I got like the more like lighter brown colors. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I had a drink of like Powerade earlier, and I actually kept using the coasters as a coaster, just like mindlessly, and I didn't notice that I was doing that. But yeah, it's super cute. And they're super thin, so it's like thin coasters. You have a way to repurpose old CDs that you can't play anymore. And yeah, so Mod Podge on the white side of the cardstock after you cut it out, generous amount. Make sure you put it on here the way that you do, and then once you press it down in the middle first, and then get like a credit card or whatever type of card to squeegee out the excess. And then after you've made sure that it's actually like flat and adhered to the CD, then you're gonna go ahead and put a generous amount of Mod Podge all across the top, but you do have to be mindful of your strokes because it will dry with the strokes and the thickness that you left. So I always made sure to spread a thin layer, so I have like 5 layers that I made sure I spread thin, and then you just wait and let it dry, because even if you touch it while it's still wet, it's going to save that fingerprint. Because one of my coworkers touched it while it was like a little gooey still. It was like mostly dry but a little gooey still, and I'm kind of salty because it sort of messed up the brush stroke. But that's okay, she didn't mean it, she didn't know. That's just me and my OC, not OCD, OC. Being obsessive compulsive is not the same thing as having obsessive compulsive disorder. My boss always likes to call me OC, but it's perfect because I work in a library. I have to know how to perfectly put everything away, especially with the Dewey Decimal System. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this craft that I thought was really cool and talk about it, and it was a good time. And yeah, you may be wondering, who goes to the library anymore? A lot of people do, and we're about to come up on summer reading, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, there is a lot of Mod Podge. You could even see the Mod Podge on the side, but it's supposed to seal it to protect it. I'm glad I put like 5 layers on here, but yeah, and it's really cool. So now I have a specific place on my desk to put my drinks, and I love it. It's just a lot easier of a process to have that there now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.